How's everyone doing? My Melody, hello. Betsy. Oh, shoot, I need to put my phone on silent. Sorry, guys. All right, how's everyone doing? Happy Monday, everybody. Hope everyone's doing great. Hi, Ellie. Hi, Amanda. Paulina, Lindsay, Dorothea, Despicable E, Cami, Atmom, Dekra, Manifest with Madeline, Bella, Beauty Madness, Betsy, My Melody. Hi, everybody. Hi, guys. Happy Monday. Aries, new here. Happy welcome. Happy welcome. Yes, both of those things. Happy and welcome. Moya says it's 3 a.m. here, but stayed up to give a hi. Hi, thanks for staying up with us. Appreciate you. Molly, thank you. Hope you're doing good as well. Gabrielle, hello. Decker says, OMG, you just said my name. I just said it again. Sincerely, Kia. Hi, Georgia, Vita. Sassy Planner Nerd. It's 3 a.m. Catherine, Amana, Tabir, Gabriella, Tina. Hi, guys. How's everyone doing? Leanne, hi, Boo. Victoria, hi, everybody. Letitia, thank you so much, girl. Appreciate you. Samantha, I am Dejana. All right. Am I saying your name right? Please tell me if I'm saying your name right. Okay, Gabrielle says, I manifested money today. Hell yes. Congratulations. Laura, Danny, hello. Oh, I'm manifesting money today. Same thing. I read it as I manifested money today. So good. You already done it. It's already happened. It's already in the bag. It's already on the way. Okay, Dejana. Okay, good. Good. Thank you. I've been wondering for a while. Okay, Sassy Planner Nerd. You don't need to record it. I just did it again. Okay, so Ari, I hope I'm saying that right, says, you are a life changer. Thanks, Leo. With 2 days of watching your videos, I had yesterday my date with my SP. Oh my gosh, 2 days. That's amazing. Congrats. That's fucking awesome. Molly says, going on a date with my SP this week. Wish me luck. First of all, you don't need luck. Just prepare yourself mentally. This is it's a great point, because I think, and now as things are starting to open up, people are going to be hanging out with their SPs more now and actually getting together with them. So it is important that we are prepared for how to act when we're actually with them. And coincidentally, tomorrow's video is about that, that when you're manifesting them, how do you behave in real time with them? Which I talk about a lot, obviously, in all my videos. But, with this date thing, if everyone's going to be starting to hang out with their SPs now and make progress, go out in the world and test your skills, here's what we got to do. We got to prepare. We have to mentally be prepared. Think about it, be very strategic, okay? And I would give this advice 3D either way. If it was how are we going to be our best versions while we're on this date? Either way, let's plan ahead. We're going to visualize ourselves coming home from the date, closing the door behind you and thinking, wow, best date of my life. Oh my God, that was so amazing. We had such an amazing time. We have this incredible bond. We talked all night, whatever you want from your date. You come home and you feel that relief, that rush, that satisfaction, right? We're going to give ourselves that feeling of, holy shit, that was the best date ever. Of course, this is unfolding. They couldn't keep their eyes off me or whatever. And then you're just going to keep that going, right? That's the story from now on. Best date ever. So excited. Can't wait for it to actually play out. But we know that it would just call it best date ever, or whatever you want to call it. Give it something, some energy of how great it's going to be. And then, leading up to it, make sure that you're not entertaining any worries, doubts, or fears or insecurities, because that's the killer. That's where you'll mess things up, is by allowing those things to enter into your mind when they don't belong there and they don't need to be there. So be really, really, really on top of that while you are preparing for this date and getting ready, because I see that a lot with people is they'll get the thing with the SP, like we have the plan, and then they sabotage it with the worries about whether or not they'll actually show up. So it's happening. Best day ever. Remember, because we already experienced the end of it. So it's already technically happened. So if we say that it hasn't happened or worry that it won't, then it already cancels out the fact that we already said it did happen. So it gets weird, right? So it happened already. It's happening. It's unfolding. It's going to be the best night. When you are day of, you are on top of your shit. Put your focus in what you're wearing, how you're feeling about yourself. Do self-care, maybe, to like bump yourself up. Listen to your favorite music. Like get into best me mode, right? And then also best case scenarios always running. And just know that you are about to like have the most amazing time. We're going to live our lives. We're not going to be in our head all night, but we are going to be paying attention to make sure that we don't start slipping down the road of insecurities, worries, doubts, fears. You know, if there's awkward silences, don't decide it's because, oh God, now what? You know, any of that stuff. Don't go down those roads. Go really deliberate with your affirmations. We're having an amazing time. This conversation's flowing so good. Oh my God, we talk so well. We bond so well. They totally get me. Whatever. Just be aware where your mind is at all night long, and not in a way of like, I don't want you again to like not live in the moment. You definitely want to experience it, but just have that baby monitor going to make sure that you don't start going down that slippery slope of you know, not trusting yourself or doubting or worrying or, you know, knocking yourself down a peg, putting them on a pedestal, any of that stuff. Yeah. Hi. What do you have to say about it? Oh yeah? What does that mean? Can you say it in English? No. I don't know if any of the cats are listening, then got some good advice for the cats. Okay. Let's see what we got here in Facebook land. Gabrielle says she manifested the scripting workshop. Oh, awesome. Oh yeah, I didn't even mention that. I have a scripting workshop on Thursday, this Thursday of this week at 4 p.m. PST. I left 300 spots. There's like over 100 filled, and I'm like, ooh, now I'm scared. Like, that sounds like a lot of people. So this is our first one, testing it out. There's going to be more, but this is the very first one. So this is, you know, if you signed up for it, I only charge $25 for it, again, because I don't know how it's going to go. I'm probably going to have to raise that price point just because there's a lot of people signing up, and I'm not sure how much attention any one person's going to get, right? Because there's a lot of people in there, but we're going to do what we can. We're going to work really hard. It's going to be really valuable, and you're going to enjoy it, but there will be more. But if you are interested in signing up, the space is limited. It's running out. So the link for that is, Lord. It's on YouTube. I put it in the community tab yesterday. It's in the link for tomorrow's video, which is already up on YouTube. On Facebook, it should already be in there. I made a graphic with it. I can't remember the website because it's like, yeah, I'm selling it. So, you can do it on my website. I'm so good at this. Yeah, roxytalks.com. You can also find it there. Okay, anyways. Fame, love the glasses. Thanks, Phil. Appreciate you. When did you change your name back? Okay. Amanda says, the game changer is knowing we are the power of our universe. Yes, ma'am. Austin says, the craziest things have been happening to me since I started manifesting. Today, I saw a very old friend on Facebook, and as soon as I got done looking at her Facebook profile, she messaged me and told me she missed me. So freaky. You know what? It's like, I was talking to a client recently, and we were talking about this idea of, you know, intending for an old friend to reach out to you. And I realized, like, I've never actually done that because, I don't know, sometimes I worry, like, these very cliche, like the ones that everybody does, sometimes I worry that they won't work for me. And not in a way they won't work for me, but that I'll, like, unintentionally think they're not going to work because they're so, like, everybody does it. I don't know how to explain it. But so I had a client I told that to, and then somebody from my past reached out to me like the same day. So that shit is crazy. It does work. And I didn't even realize it till a couple days later. I was like, oh my God, I haven't talked to that motherfucker in so long. Anyways, so that was interesting. But yes, that's, I don't know why it works, but that one, I mean, let me take that back. Of course I know why it works, but that is one of those ones that it's almost like a vision board, right? It's like that thing that like everybody does. Or I know there was that Neville thing about the ladder. I don't know if everyone's done that, but I think a lot of people who are Neville followers do this ladder one where you visualize yourself climbing on a ladder. So I first heard about that from I think it was Joseph Ally, and he was doing a collab with somebody, and I don't know who that person was. And they were talking about this Neville exercise where you visualize yourself on a ladder, and then you're supposed to be on a ladder, whatever. Well, I don't fucking do ladders. I don't do heights. I don't even like standing on a step stool. One step above is like one step too many. So I think I better not get on no fucking ladder. I'm not manifesting no God. I'm like in my head, no sir, Mr. Ladder. I don't think so. And then the next day, oh no, what was it? The next day I was doing, this is when I still did like a tarot card reading for myself every day. I pulled the tarot card and I was just like reading about the card. I'm not that good, but I was reading about the card, and it had the word ladder in it. And as soon as it was like, boom, my eyes went like laser focused to the word ladder. And I was like, damn, I'm good. Like, I was like, you're not getting my ass on a ladder. I'm not, don't put me around no ladder. And it was like the word ladder, but it still was just like right there. And I thought that was really interesting the next day that happened. But those very, I don't want to use the word cliche, but what word can I use? Common, I guess, like little tests that you do are always interesting because so many people do them. And I think a lot of people actually have success with them. Even just like mentioning it and opening the door for it allows it to come through. And that's why everything, that's with anything, any manifestation. You open the door for it. If you step out of the way, it comes through easily. This is why things are so hard for a lot of people to manifest. Well, let me rephrase that. This is why big things or hard things are hard to manifest, is because you open the door for it and then you're like, hello, where are you? Come through. Hello. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, maybe they're still at their car, like getting something out of the backseat, open the door and they can come through anytime. They're here. Just like, you don't need to be like all up in the way. I don't know. Weird analogy, but either way, if you're opening the door for something, you have to get out of the way. You have to get out of the doorway for it to actually move through. So make sure you're doing that. That's why the dropping, right? Dropping it, that's what that is. It's like, I've opened the door for it to come through. It's going to walk through. The door's open for it. I don't need to stand there. Who the fuck are you? Like, no, just get out of the way. Go do what you're doing. And the thing will come through. Okay, Bella, this is kind of going along with what we're saying. Says, I get frustrated because I can't manifest a text from my SP after breaking things up, but the people that I don't give a peep bleep about text me. Same thing. So you really want the text message from your person. You're opening the door and you're like, where are you? Where's the text message? Well, who's going to want to walk through that door when you're at the doorway screaming and then won't get out of the way? Like, move. Yes, you want the text. Cool, it's on its way. Now go on about your business and go do something else over here that distracts you so that that thing can come through the doorway. If you are just like blocking it with everything you've got, how do you expect them to come through? They can't. Anything. Same thing. All things. Andrea says, I'm manifesting my dream relationship with the wrong person. No, you are not. Do not affirm that. Let this be the last time we say that, okay? You're manifesting your dream relationship with an amazing person, and the universe is delivering. Open that door and get out of the way. Do not say that it's the wrong. I mean, I'm just saying, like, don't affirm these things. Like, change that story right now, because even if you're trying to be funny, because I know there's like an emoji and stuff, that's an opportunity for you to change that right there. So make sure that you take it. Oh, God. They're all smudgy. I don't have a thing. I'm gonna clean it with my. Oh, there's one right here. 50,000 things in here. No, she doesn't have a glasses wipe. Okay. She has a shirt. What do we got over here? Melissa says, can, in quotation marks, hold on, can, thank you. We manifest exactly how we want something to go. Or is that worrying about the how and we should leave all options open? Okay. It's not that you can't. You definitely, of course you can. You can manifest anything. But I think personally what I see with this is that it narrows the scope so much when you have to have it a certain way that you don't allow for other ways that could be even better than you could even imagine, or easier, like just like come about in like you know how when things come about in the craziest ways, you're like, I can't believe that just happened like that. Those kind of things, if you allow them to come about that way, it's like easier and faster and like just like the smoothest path to you, and it might unfold in these random ways that you could never imagine, and it still could happen the way you want it to. But if you imply that there's only one way it can come about and it has to go that way, then that's what it is, right? So then you narrow the scope severely, and you have this like, it's like you're trying to like you're trying to pass a watermelon through a straw hole or something, right? Like, and it doesn't expand. So I'm sure the ladies are picking up on time. So anyways, so ridiculous. This is the problem. These analogies, they come in my head and I'm laughing at them like in real time because they're so ridiculous. I don't know where they come from. They just like popped in my head, but like they make me laugh because they're ridiculous sometimes. So, and then here's another thing. This is something that's really important too, that I hear a lot, that I'm trying to convey to people. Same thing is that worrying about the how and should we leave all the options open. When you leave the options open, it allows for the how that you want or the what that you want or whatever to come through. So the same way that like, oh, I let my SP go, or I didn't need it anymore, or I loved myself, or all those things that people say, I stopped worrying. I gave up hope. All this idea of like, oh, I just got fucking sick of it. The faster you can get to that point where you're like, meh, I don't care. I don't really fucking care anymore, honestly. People are so afraid of that. And they think that I'm saying, oh, just don't manifest him. Go get someone better. Or them, whatever. Like, no, I don't fucking care who you manifest. It's none of my fucking business. I'm not living your life. I don't care. My point is, though, if you can get to that point, that's when they come through. So getting to the point where you're like, whatever, man, I don't even care anymore, is what makes them come through. And it's not saying that you don't want them. It's realizing that you don't need them. And you already have everything you're looking for, which is the love and validation. It's not coming from someone else. You're allowing it to be shown to you from someone else, or you're accepting it when it comes to you, or whatever. Either way, you are giving yourself what you want from them, right? I said that last week. So just you saying, I don't need anything, I have everything I need. Dina, I know. That's what does it. And everybody's so like, oh my God, like, no, I don't want to get to that point. I'm like, well, guess what? The longer you wait, the longer it's going to take you to get your person. And I'm not saying this is hard and fast, but that's what happened to me. That's what happened to me when I was pushing for months. Why won't he? How come he? I don't understand why he won't just. Why won't he just this? Why can't he? Why don't you have this? Like all of that. It wasn't until I was like, bye, over it, done. Not anymore. Not me. I'm gonna go find someone that respects me. I can have anybody. He came back hours later. Hours, changed completely from the man he was before. And this was like a year and a half into our relationship. This is not like a couple months. Like by the time I got to that point, I had been trying for so long to insert myself into his life because I knew that we were going to be married, right? And so he didn't know it yet, and that's okay. But I was like, you need to know this, sir. Like we're going to be married. And he's like, what? So I was just like pushing and pushing and pushing. And obviously he wasn't ready for a long time. And then so when I stopped pushing and I was like, I don't fucking care anymore. I'm going to go find someone who is ready for me, who does appreciate me and treat me the way I want to. Instantly, he turned into that person. And so even though I was ready to be done with him, I would have, that was the end of it. It would have been the end of us, but it wasn't. And that's awesome because I knew I was going to be with him. I knew we were going to get married. It still happened. And he's the best husband in the world. I say that all the time. I say it every day. And that it probably would not have happened if I hadn't have just been like, I'm over it. Nope, no. And it wasn't that I was over him. I was over the treatment. I was over the pain and the longing and the just like, why won't you just give me this one thing that I want? All I wanted was the title. That's where we were in our relationship. It was like, we were always together. We were next to our neighbors, like in an apartment, like our doors were like this. Like I opened, it was like fucking friends. I opened my door and his door was right there. So we were always, and it's had always been like that. We were always great friends. We were always together. We were known as like a couple, like our names together. Everybody knew us as that. But it was just that title he wouldn't give me. And it would frustrate me to no end. I'm like, can you just admit that we are this? Like, I don't need any extra time. I don't need any extra attention. I don't need your money. I don't need anything but for you to acknowledge that this is what it is. That's all I wanted. And it was like the thing that, like, as I'm saying, it was the thing that he wouldn't do. The one thing I needed, he wouldn't do, right? And that's how I just kept putting so much effort into it. And then when I was like, fuck it, I don't need him to give it to me. I can go find anybody and get that from anybody. I had built up my self-esteem at that point. I was like 25. I was like, sure, bye, bro. I'm not that young girl anymore that's just like, you know, gonna take whatever she can get. No, at that point, I was like, no, I can have anybody that I want. And I didn't even know about manifesting yet. I just fucking decided one day. I was like, wait a minute, what am I doing? Why am I acting like this? This is ridiculous. And that day I was like, oh, I'm about to go be single. It was my first time being single with confidence. And here comes this motherfucker coming down the hallway, ready to go to the club with us that night. And I was like, I just let this go. Like, what the hell? But he was so amazing from that point forward. And he just was like, I never even thought he could be the way he was, honestly. It still blows my mind to this day because it was just like night and day. And he wasn't like mean. He just was not very like, he was like oblivious kind of like he just was just in his own world, and which is fine. He was never like, he's not a mean person at all. So it wasn't like he was mean to me. He just like didn't realize what he was doing by not like going that extra mile or whatever. So once he did, he realized I wasn't going to fucking take it anymore. He said he had this thing of like, well, I can either start over with someone else, or, you know, just start over and find someone else, I guess, or whatever, or I can take this chance and see where this goes with this person I actually do like. And that's what he chose. And here we are. It's been like 8 years since then, I guess. More, maybe more. 9. Okay. Now, sorry, I'm just rambling on for a long time about my relationship. Amanda says, it pushing off the pedestal any way, put me on it and let me chasing you chasing me. He's lucky to have me. Yes, ma'am. You are a prize. Absolutely. Okay. Appreciate all you guys. Oh, everybody's talking about the scripting workshop. Yeah, that'll be fun. I'm excited to see how it goes because I have a lot of ideas for live workshops that we're just like starting to implement. So like I said, this is going to be the first one. We're going to have all kinds of different structured workshop and like tiers of like pricing packaging. And so the more obviously the more exclusive and smaller the group, it's going to be a little more expensive. We're going to have like, you know, we'll be able to like 6 people, for example, we'll be able to have like an in-depth conversation versus like the scripting workshop. Again, I put it at $25 just to see how it went. Which is great. I appreciate you all. But I need to scale it back because that's a lot of people. And so I want to make sure that I'm serving everybody. You will all get a recording of it. And we'll see. Yeah, we'll see what happens going forward with those. But this is just the beginning. So we are taking ideas. Ryland and I have a list of all the workshops that we're working on and stuff. So we have a lot of really cool stuff for you guys. And it's just like, I really just want to give you the stuff that you need that's going to help you. The content that you need that's going to get it in there, right? It's going to work this in there so that we can live our lives this way. Danielle, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, hi, how do you change a thought/belief that if you doubt or have a negative feeling at all, that doubt will manifest, even if you change it and feel better? Okay, so I'm going to give this a two-part answer. First of all, just like we were talking about with this letting go idea, like you let go not because you don't want it, but because you need to display that you are fine without it in order for it to come with you to you. It's whatever that. I don't know why. That's just how it fucking works, right? We're figuring this out. It seems ass backwards, but it's really not if you think about it, right? Because a mirror is an ass backwards reflection. I look in a mirror and it looks like it's reflecting back, but it's backwards than the way I see it, right? Or the way that it actually is. And it's just like this with your manifestation. If you want something, you don't get the thing that you want, you get more wanting. If you have what you need, that doesn't stop you from getting things. That doesn't cut you off and say, oh, you have what you need, then you're done. It allows more I have what I need to come through. It allows you to continue to have what you need, which means the things that you need will keep coming to you. It is a mirror, but it's kind of ass backwards from the way that we think it's working, right? So if you want something, you turn that into, I have this thing, because that's what needs to be reflected in this mirror. So how do you change a thought/belief if you have a doubt or negative feeling that at all it will manifest? First things first is not care, right? Like I just said with this letting go idea, you start telling yourself, you know what? I don't really give a fuck, because even if it does manifest, it doesn't matter, because I'm constantly shifting and I can control the narrative always. And even if something pops up that I'm not really a fan of, it does not change where I'm going, and it doesn't really affect me unless I have to, right? So diminish it by saying, I don't even care. Like, manifest it or don't. I don't really care. I'm still in control. My world's fine. That's the attitude that you need to have in order to make that a possibility, right? It's not necessarily that you don't care. It's that I'm not going to let anybody in on the idea that I might. Okay. So you just want to be careful, because it's always like reflecting back exactly what you're telling it is. So if you are dwelling on a negative thought or fear, you are just building it up. You're asking for it to come to you. So if it pops up, I don't even care. It's not going to manifest. And even if it did, who cares? I'm in control here and I get everything I want. Everything's always working out for me. I only have good things happen to me. Things only happen for the better. So I'm not really worried. Only good things happen. And every time something happens to me, I'm happy because it was good, or whatever. You are saying these things because you want to keep yourself thinking these thoughts habitually. And when you continue to tell yourself, no matter what happens, I'm fine. Everything always works out for me. The universe has my back. Things are always working out. I'm protected. I'm safe. I'm respected. Whatever it is that you want. If you continue that narrative in your mind, even if you don't believe it, even if you feel something else and you want to say something else so bad, this is your test. Can you feel that feeling and still say, I don't fucking care because everything works out for me. I'm not worried about it. When you're able to do that, you become a master of all of your manifestations, anything. Because nothing that happens to you changes this unless you let it. So if you, and this is even your own feelings and thoughts too, because there's an overall, there's something above where the thoughts are like floating. It's like clouds or something, and there's something overlooking it. There's something above it, a sun, maybe, if you want to think of it like that. And the thoughts are just clouds floating by. But there's something above it that's governing it all, or at least observing it or selecting which cloud or thought it wants to choose. So you must take that power all the time, because you always have it. And if you don't take it, you're giving it up for no reason, because it's there and no one can take it from you. No one can use it either. So if you don't use it, it's just sitting up there, like being powerful for no reason. So change the way you're thinking about these things. Tell yourself, I don't care how I feel. I'm always working on my thoughts and feelings. Only good things happen to me. Everything's working out for me. Everything works out best case scenario. The universe has my back, blah, 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 that kind of stuff. And also, even if it does manifest, I'm not really worried, because I'm constantly working on my mood, but it doesn't really matter because only good things happen to me. So you want to talk yourself out of it, because it's just the fact that you're listening to those fears that will bring it about. It's not that you're predestined to have those things happen to you. It's that you won't stop dialing the number and then getting pissed when they answer the phone. Put the phone down. Distract yourself. Go somewhere else with that. Brandy says, saw my SP since quarantine and blew up due to him acting so aloof and dismissive. I stopped out. I feel so guilty for my behavior. Okay, guilt's not gonna, you don't get any merit points for guilt. You're not going to get a shiny new badge for it. It's not going to do anything to help your situation in any way. Okay. And I say that not to dismiss what you're feeling, but to remind you that your feelings are irrelevant in comparison to what you're manifesting. Okay, so feel guilty all you want, but you don't tell that story. If your person was aloof and dismissive after quarantine, I chalk that up to, oh shit, we are fucking awkward. No one has been around people for 2 months. We don't know how to behave. Like, I'm still working out brushing off the dust of how to act around people. So I'm manifesting him weird. That's all good. We're cool here. I'm chill, right? We're all good. So change the story. He wasn't aloof and dismissive. We're just being awkward right now because we don't know how to interact with anybody. So next time you guys see each other, it's going to be way better. We're more comfortable. We had this situation. Doesn't really matter. He's over it. He understands what it was. It was just weird feelings rustled up. It's past stuff. I'm over it. I'm not even worried about it. Things are working out for me. Everything always works out for me. The relationship, blah, 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 blah. Just go on and tell a new story. You don't need to feel guilty about it. Just turn that guilt into something else. I mean, if you do feel guilty, that's fine, but you don't need to cycle that in your mind. There's just no reason to do that. Leanne says, Rox, I just wanted you to know these Mindset Mondays, the way you connect with audience got me through a tough time. Appreciate you. I appreciate you. And I thank you for always being here and helping keep the community safe with your amazing moderating skills. Thank you. Gazelle, I like that, says, hi, Roxy. I want to embody myself as an artist that creates amazing artwork. I'm working on it. How can I embody my ideal artist self without being contradicted by the amateur art I create every day? Oh, girl. Okay, first things first. Sorry, I assumed that you're a girl. Hey, thank you. This last sentence, the last half of the sentence. How can I embody my ideal artist self? That's where you put the question mark on that sentence. That's the end of it. We do not. This will be the last time you ever call your art amateur ever again. Ever. Don't ever do that to yourself, because art, what the fuck is that? Art is art. Art is passion. Art is expression. There is no such thing as amateur. Maybe people are, have certain skills that they've been honing their whole life, which makes them, better at their craft. But don't dismiss yourself as an artist by doing that, because that's right there. What you just did is why you're not embodying the artist you want to be, because you just called yourself an amateur. How do I embody myself as the amazing artist I am? Don't call yourself amateur ever fucking again. Ever again. You are an artist, period. Now, I am imagining that you're on the younger side just because, I can do whatever. Anyways. So having, I'm 36. I've been putting out art for a long time, having a lot of people not listen or care about what I put out, which I like now, because at this point in my life, I can release anything I want. I don't care what anybody thinks about it. It's my own expression, like it or don't. I don't care. I already made it. I'm moving on to the next thing. And I'm not affected by this idea of people accepting my art or getting it or anything. I don't care what you think. I'm an artist, so I must art, right? I have to express myself through art. I am not a, what's the word I want to use? I am not I'm not an artist to please the audience. That's not why people create art. People create art to express themselves. And if you enjoy it, cool, you get it. If you don't, art is subjective. Who fucking cares? If you don't like it, then just go like this and look at something else. So like, if you want to embody your artist self and an amazing artist that creates amazing artwork, you need to start describing yourself as that now and forever. And don't ever say that you are amateur. You don't like yourself. If you don't like it, fine, who cares? Art is a work in progress. We are always improving and structuring or restructuring and changing and morphing, and art is fluid. Most artists don't even have one medium, right? Like, there's mediums that we're better at, but for the most part, if you're an artist every part of your life. Like, I'm an artist, and I'm very much an artist on this channel. You see that with the aesthetic. I have to have the aesthetic because I'm an artist and I can't not. And it would drive me crazy if it didn't have like all the branding that I want, but because I'm an artist. So like, whatever, that's me. That's my opinion on it. And I'm not going to be ashamed of or put down or negate the art that I make, because somebody out there can't fucking do it. A lot of people try. They can't do what I do. And there's a lot of people who do amazing things that I can't do. So I can do what I do. I'm here to do it, and that's about it. Like it or love it, move on. If you don't, I don't really care. And it's just treat yourself better. You're here to be an artist. If you're an artist, then start acting like one. And that's not to say that artists aren't tortured, because we are, right? That's what makes us do art. But you must understand that your gift is your art, and you're here to express it. And if you don't like what you're doing yet, then you just need to keep practicing. And you need to hone the skill of whatever medium you're trying to use, right? So it's like, when you say I'm an amateur artist, that's why I said, no, you're not, because an artist is who you are. The medium of which that you use, painting, drawing, whatever, fucking ice sculpture, right? That is a skill that you hone, that you practice and get better at. Don't diminish yourself as a person or an artist just because you have not honed the skill that you are working on yet, right? These are different things. The picture you make or whatever is not who you are as a person. You are here to express yourself through the medium of art, and you're just experimenting. I wasn't that good at graphic design when I first started. Now I'm good. I wasn't that good at photo editing or taking pictures or songwriting or anything, but I get better. Even my old videos, I can't even watch from my old channel. They're like awful. It's like everything, you just get better with it by practicing. But it doesn't change who I am as an artist. I'm still my fucking weird ass self, expressing myself through whatever medium I'm using right now. Today it's YouTube and Facebook. All right. That was a long-winded answer, but I'm here for you. My Melody, thank you so much for your donation, says, hi. Any tips for someone who's trying to manifest living in New York City? I'm doing the work upstairs, but I get confused because my house, job, etc. are in my hometown. Okay, so what it sounds like you're doing is a little too much of living in the like end result. Like, I know they say that on in a lot of the teachings or whatever, to go to the end and only stay in the end. But it's like, there is no end. You getting to New York is not the end. We hope, right? That's just the fucking beginning. So you can take this end scene that you're using, or this end goal or whatever, and bring it closer to you so that it's in a more believable and actionable place, versus like, how do I convince myself I'm somewhere that I'm not? Well, how about you start acting like somebody who's moving to New York? That's believable. You can do that right now. You can start Googling apartments. You can start looking at neighborhoods. You can start looking at jobs, schools, friends, activities. Fucking Target.com, looking at throw pillows and shit. Like anything that is of the energy of somebody who's moving to New York. You start doing that kind of stuff, and anything that you have now, house, job, etc., are being tied up with a nice little bow. You're tying up loose ends. You start treating it as if I am moving. You don't have to verbalize it to anybody, but up here, I am moving. Like, for example, when I moved here to LA, I got a job at a strip club, cocktail waitressing. Nobody wants to learn that. Nobody wants to see that. But I was waitressing at a strip club because I was moving to LA in 3 months and I needed money. I didn't tell them I was moving. So like, what I'm not saying to do that. My point is that I went on about that job as if I was, this place is great. I love it. It's totally staying here, knowing full well that there was a clock ticking on it, and I was going to be leaving there. So even though I was just beginning, I was tying up loose ends the whole time I was there. So anyways, the point is, whatever you're doing, like even if let's say that you got the call tomorrow and you are moving to New York, you're still in your house with your job. You still have to do those things, right? You're not going to just wake up in New York. I mean, I don't know, maybe you will. That'd be cool. Let me know if you do. Yeah, please do. Anybody that does that, please let me know ASAP. But like logically, I think maybe and this is my own limiting belief. I'm saying this right now. Even if you got the call, yes, you're moving to New York, everything's paid for, you can have anything you want, you still have to find a place, right? Maybe someone found it for you. You still have to pack your shit up. Maybe someone will do that for you too. You still have to get on a plane, right? So there's still at least a couple steps that need to happen. So be of that energy. be of that. This is happening now. So I need to start acting like somebody who's moving to New York. And then everything is just like on its way out. Okay, Nancy Patino, thank you again for your super chat. Says, I've been trying to manifest my ex back. We are currently not talking for 6 months, and I tried many techniques to try to get him to email me. Any tips? Yeah, for sure. Stop doing tips. Stop doing the techniques. Like, you're trying to do all this powerful shit for an email. You're not being true. That's not true. You don't want an email. You get I bet you have hundreds of thousands of unread emails in your, maybe that's just me. I have hundreds of thousands of unread emails in my inbox. I don't need an email. What you are looking for is connection, attention, validation, love, respect, companionship, connection. You're not looking for an email. So be true about what you're doing. Don't put all your infinite power onto something that is irrelevant and that you already have. You have tons of emails. You don't need that. Where you need to put your mind and start controlling your thoughts, not doing, random techniques, but making a lifestyle of thinking in a way that works for you, so things just come your way. This is unfolding. This person loves it. I mean, he's thinking about me all the time. He's ready to reach out. Maybe he's writing the email right now. I know he's trying to hit send. I know he wants to hit send. He's going to hit that send button or whatever. We start creating this world where this person can't stop thinking about you. You're the only person that's ever gotten them, only person that's ever fulfilled them. They've never felt like they feel when they're with you. Whatever you want, like, turn it into the beautiful story that you're looking to experience. Don't just, this is the same with a text. I'm trying to manifest a text. No, you're not. You are not. Don't lie to yourself. Don't lie. You get texts all fucking day. Don't lie. You are manifesting a relationship. Be real with it. And this is the relationship I want. So that's the relationship that you have. And that's how you behave. And you must live as that is unfolding, or as if that is unfolding. Just like in the previous question about New York, if you can't wrap your mind around being in a relationship with that person right now because of how things have gone, fine. Wrap your mind around the fact that it's unfolding. They're changing their mind. They've changed their mind. They're thinking about you. They're chasing you this time. They want it. It's their idea. Like, turn it around into something that would be best case scenario right now. And then start moving forward in that reality with your mind and using your thoughts to shift your focus to that reality every single time you see it kind of like drifting or going somewhere else, or entertaining doubts, fears, worries, insecurities, all that stuff. Reacting to the 3D, affirming that it's been 6 months and you haven't talked to them. It's the language that you're using to describe your world in every single moment. That's what's manifesting. That's what I got like 200 videos trying to convey to you guys. It is the language you are using in your mind. That's it. That's it. If you are not on top of it, then you're not on top of your life, period. You can do techniques all day long. But if you step out of your technique and reaffirm that your shit is not working, or it's been 6 months, or any of that stuff, you go right back to it and you cancel it out. So pick one. Either do this technique, or not technique, excuse me, do this approach, this practice as a lifestyle and get control of your entire world, or I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, it just seems so, when I see people refusing to do the work of making this a practice and they just want to keep doing the techniques, I'm just like, well, I'm here when you're ready to do the work, because the techniques don't do it. They don't do it. I'm telling you, as somebody who studied this for nearly a decade, 2021 will be 10 years of me studying law of attraction, and my life changed basically overnight within 72 hours of completely implementing my practice in October of 2019. You guys have seen it happen. So believe me or don't, but if you're going to come here and ask my opinion, you better be doing the work. Don't come here asking and I'm not saying you're doing this, babe, but I'm just saying in general, like, don't come to me asking for my opinion and not wanting to take my advice. Like, I mean, you can, but it's just rude. Don't be an asshole. If you want to know the answer, if you want to know my opinion, and you don't like it, you don't have to do it. But if you're going to come back and say, hey, it's all this stuff, I'm just saying, try this out. It does work. It takes some effort, but it gets easier. It's not hard forever. It does get easier. Insane. Okay. I get so fired up. Facebook, I'll get to you. We have a lot of super chats coming through. Thomas L, thank you so much, says, how to align living in the end and acting needy in a 3D reality. Isn't it needy to ignore a breakup and tell her, honey, I love you. I am always here for you. Thomas, okay. So, well, I mean, listen, I don't know your situation. It's like, you can't, like, you don't put a blanket over everything for your unique situation. You custom tailor that shit to you. So what's best case scenario for you? And you can baby step that. If you are not ready to say, honey, I love you, I'm here for you, what are you comfortable with? What is the next logical step for you? Go there with it. Best case scenario, like what would be if you got everything you needed right in this very moment right now? What would that look like right now or tomorrow or in 5 minutes from now? That's where you go with it. And isn't it needy to ignore a breakup? I mean, I don't know. I don't know what your question is. So it's like, if you're approaching it with needy energy, then yeah. But if you're saying, I'm not really worried about what the 3D is telling me, this relationship is this, and we're just, maybe it's a rough patch. That's fine. People go through them all the time. People break up and get back together all the time. I'm not really worried about it. I'm just going to keep my mind focused on the fact that we're a great team. We're a great match. We love each other. We have an amazing time together. We fulfill each other. We're the only person each other wants to be with. And that's it. It's unfolding. It's fixing itself. It's happening. I'm not really worried about it. Same thing. But I mean, it's just like, I don't know where your question's actually coming from, but like, you don't have to just like do what everybody else does. Like, do what works for you, Okay. Tiffany, hi babe, says, hey, first, thank you for the SP workshop. That was a gift. That was a gift from a viewer. Or from a client. So I'm glad you enjoy. I hope she's watching. I'm on module 2 about triggers. Is it normal to feel heavy and low vibey going through it? It's rough, girl. Lots of emotions surfacing. Any advice to make it easier? Yeah, this is normal. My advice would be to just dump it out now. Like, this isn't now what she's asking about is like, you guys probably know about my left hand, right hand column exercise. The second module is like going through all of like your whole inventory of limiting beliefs. So yes, it is normal to go there. This isn't like the 2-cup method where you like every day you're affirming your old reality, or I don't know how it goes. I don't do that shit. But this is like a one-time thing. This is a one-time thing because this is you mapping out all of your shit. So get it all out. Get it all out. And then you start rewriting. And then that's why you pick yourself back up, right? But even while you're doing it, do the energetic condom if you have to, or at least say, you know what, this is getting out so that I can be aware of this stuff. This is the last time I'm going to allow myself to think these things. I'm purging these things. Think about throwing up. Throwing up is not pretty. Doesn't feel good when it's happening, but it feels so much better afterwards. So get them out. Put on some nice music or some healing tones, or like watch some cat videos if you have to take a break or something. Like, do something to kind of lift your spirits up if you want. But it's not going to be forever. And sometimes you got to wade through a little bit of shit to get to the other side. So it's really just about getting clear with yourself. The reason why you feel low, I mean, if you're feeling low vibey right now, you've been telling yourself that stuff every day for your whole life. So push through this point and just get to the other side of that. And thank you. I love you. Appreciate you. Okay, Miss Hill, thank you so much. Says, how can I decide if I want my SP because there's some things I don't like about him? He avoids issues. I've asked the universe and intuition, no clear answer. All right, this is interesting. I like that you said that because you answered your own question. How can I decide if I want my SP? Because there's some things I don't like. I've asked the universe and intuition, no clear answer. You are offering uncertainty, so you're receiving it. If you were going to ask the universe for it, then it's more of a declaring that, okay, the information's coming. Okay, you know what? Actually, I get, you know what? I see it now. And again, it's about the language. It's not about actually feeling or agreeing or understanding. It's about using your language to shift you into a reality where you do or you will. So how can I decide? And also look at the fact that you're asking this question. You do not want him the way he is. That is a fact because you're asking this question. So if you had everything that you needed from this person, if he was attentive, communicative, always want to talk about stuff, open with you, will totally just entertain whatever you need to talk about in the moment because he's there for you, whatever, and everything else that you need. If that were to happen today, tomorrow, next week, would you be happy with him that way? If so, then, keep going down that road if you want. If not, or if you're apathetic, either way, it'd be cool if it was him, it'd be cool if it's someone else, then cool. That leaves you open for even more opportunity with him or with anybody else that could be even better for you, or even a even better version of him. So how can I decide that if I want him? Say that you have. Decide that, I figured it out. You know what? I'm not worried about that anymore. No, I already figured that out. I already know how I feel about that. Just saying that alone will allow the answer to come to you. The issue is that you're asking, offering doubt, not understand, not hearing an answer. What is it? I don't hear you. There's no answer there. Maybe you did get an answer, but you didn't like it. Or maybe you did get an answer, but you didn't realize it was an answer. Maybe you did get an answer, but you just ignored it and didn't notice it. So don't say that you didn't get an answer. Maybe the answer's still in the way. Maybe you're just ignoring it and it's like, hello, I'm here. And you're like, where's the answer? So allow it to come through by saying that it has, or that it's on its way. I'm not really worried about that anymore because it's coming to me. I already know how I feel. I know what I want. I know what's best for me. I always make the right choices. I always make the best decisions. Turn it into that type of energy. And then just kind of every time you start to question, no, I'm not worried about that. I already figured it out, or whatever, right? Something that keeps you in the reality where it's coming, or it's on its way, or it's here. And then you'll be fed the answer. You'll know. And just start intending that you do, or that you are, you know what? I'm not going to keep asking that because the universe is letting me know. I'm hearing the answer. I hear it. And just say, just intend that you do or that you will again, so that you can shift into a reality where you do or you will. Okay. What are you barking at? Okay, I'm going to refill my coffee here while these dogs are barking. If you're interested in a scripting workshop, live scripting workshop with me, I'm hosting one on Thursday of this week. This is the first of its kind, but there will be more. The introductory rate is $25. So, it's a low cost to get in. So there's a lot of people signed up for it. I don't know how it's going to go because it's the first time around, but I know it's going to be fun and definitely informative and interesting. I'm going to try to give people as much, personal attention as I can. What are you barking at? Thanks, doggies. There will be more workshops. This is just the very first one, and so we're just testing it out. Introductory rate is low just to see. I wanted to see what kind of turnout we got. It was a good one, so I appreciate everybody that signed up. There will be more. I'm probably gonna have to raise the price point just because, again, it's like too many. We'll see. We'll see how we handle it. There's also going to be a recording of it, and I think I'm going to bundle the scripting module from the SP workshop, the scripting module, or whatever I talk about. Rylan says I talk about scripting in the 30 days. I can't remember. I think so many things I can't even remember. The scripting from the 30 days, and then this scripting thing I'll probably bundle into like downloads that you can also purchase if you guys are interested, like to kind of reference it. So you'll have that to listen to if you haven't joined, the courses and stuff. Okay. Stacey says, can you, if you want to sign up for that workshop, the scripting workshop, you can do it at my website, roxytalks.com. Stacey says, can you manifest not having nightmares or night terrors? Okay. So first things first, of course, you can manifest anything. One thing I'm going to say is that you can't be defining yourself as somebody who has that a lot. I know this is like, obviously it's hard to not react to a nightmare because it's like literally like you're living it, but knowing, like starting to intend that you have peaceful sleep. I enjoy going to sleep. That's where I have, the most downtime. It's peaceful, it's calm, it's quiet. Start using this language instead. Every time you want to say that you had a nightmare, oh, I had the most restful sleep last night. You have to change that story, even though you don't want to, right? Even though it's hard. Every day you wake up, wow, I have the most peaceful sleep. You wake up from a nightmare, I love being woken up from a peaceful dream, right? You have to keep that story going. That's one thing. Two, I would try lucid dreaming. When I was a kid, I used to have reoccurring dreams about Freddy Krueger because of my aunt. She was 14 when I was born. So obviously she babysat me and my cousin all the time. My cousin was like my sister who passed away. It's like my twin sister. We were the same age. So she babysat us all the time. She was so young. And so she, love you, but she used to like force us to watch Freddy Krueger when we were like 2 and 3 years old. So most of my reoccurring nightmares as a child were about Freddy Krueger. And I would like have to walk through his house. And then like I would finally get to the end of it. And then my mom's skin was laying on his back patio. I had that dream so many times throughout my childhood. So anyways, eventually I started to learn how to lucid dream. And I started to I started making myself recognize when I was in the dream so that I could start, I'm not worried about that, and start manipulating things. And I remember after I started doing that, it stopped really affecting me. I haven't really done that. I don't really remember my dreams too much anymore, but definitely as a kid that helped me a lot was learning how to, that awareness of like, bitch, you're dreaming. Okay, hold on. And just like, nah, nope. Just kind of no, in the dreams. One thing I know, night terrors is something different. I've only had like one, and it was terrifying. But again, you can't slap a name tag. Hi, my name is Night Terror Girl, or whatever. Like you really have to not affirm them anymore. Intend for peaceful sleep. Intend that everything will out. And then my final tip for that would be to script every night. Scripting every night is so beneficial in so many ways. Again, I'm doing a workshop on it on Thursday. So like, it really is, it is, and I've said this before, it's like the one technique that I still do every single day. And it is so valuable, so amazing, and such a great tool. It really helps when you're going to bed, just in a regular life. So if you are dealing with stuff like you're probably taking too much of your stressful life in the daytime with you to sleep. So clearing it out, scripting out whatever's on your mind, whatever's stressing you out that day, and flipping it in like a page of scripting. That's what I would suggest. I don't know the answer to your question, but as like you're asking my advice, this is the things I would do: is change that story immediately. Start working on affirming that you have peaceful, restful sleep, especially the moment you wake up every single day, every time you wake up. Try to work on lucid dreaming so you can start controlling that stuff. And 3 would be to script before you go to bed to really clear out any negativity that you might be carrying with you. Okay, Valentina says, hi, Roxy. Can you tell me some affirmations for traveling around the world? Okay, I like that. So for current climate, right, we've personally, first things first, I would do is start intending for safety. I'm having a beautiful, safe trip, safe travels. I'm protected. I'm completely like impervious to anything in the world. Like I am a freaking machine. My body just freaking so powerful. So it cleanses itself, it cleans itself, and it's so strong. We just flush anything out. It's just like well-oiled machine or whatever. That's the first thing I would do is start building the idea of safety in the travel, just because who knows what the hell's going on. And then start describing yourself and your world as somebody who does travel. Okay, so if you want to travel the world, people who travel, all they talk about is like where they're going next. They never talk about where they want to go, right? And I don't mean that like they never say, oh, I want to go this place, but they don't talk about it like, oh, I want to go, I want to travel the world. Like they're just like, I went to Fiji, we're going to Costa Rica. Like they're just always doing stuff. Like I have a lot of friends that always go places, and that's how they talk. They're just always going places. So talk about it as if you already are. And even if it's like your first trip, that's fine, because every one of those people had a first trip. Every world traveler had their first trip. So, cool. Yours is happening. Yay, you're a world travel. Decided to become a world traveler. So, bitch, I am. The world's at my fingertips. I can go anywhere in the world I want. Flights are cheaper than they've ever been in the fucking, who knows, 20, 30, 40 years. Great. I'm so excited. So now this is the same thing for moving to New York or anything. You start looking at where's your first trip? Where's your first trip? You have to have a first trip. So where are you going? Are we going to Fiji? Are we going? I don't even actually know what the state of any of I don't know what the state of the world in any place is actually right now. So I'm not going to name any places just in case I say something stupid. But start researching where you can go right now. Where is allowing tourism, or look at 2020 or 2021 or something like that. And start picking your trip or like figuring it out. Okay, I think I'm gonna go here for my first one. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna narrow it down to 5 things. I'm gonna start putting my feelers out there. And then those 5 places. We're just picking like the order. This doesn't mean we don't get to go to other places. We're just choosing which ones we want to go to first because we're gonna visit all of them. Of course, as we're a world traveler. These are my first 5 destinations. So you now are a world traveler. Act like one. And I don't mean about spending money. I mean everything but the money, right? Unless you have it, of course, it's not an issue, then cool. But if money is what you're worried about, make sure that it's the last thing you think about. And I mean that not worried the money's going to come. Yeah, I can afford that. That's fine. Stay within the means that you think is appropriate for you, but don't like treat yourself as if you're like looking for something cheap. Even if you are, I can have a deal expensive. I'm not really worried because I know there's always amazing little gems of trips on the internet. And I'm just looking for the one that fits me perfectly. Don't let the money be an issue, even if it is. Act like it's something else. And just you are a traveler now. So where are you going? Where's your next trip? Where's your first trip? Let me know. Leave it down below. Okay. Kelsey says, okay, I like this girl. I mean, I like this, girl. She says, I like the idea I think the idea that you have to let go is a block itself. I accept that. I received that for sure. Absolutely. And it's like the concept of letting go isn't even mangoes. It's not even like letting go again. It's just stopping the communication that implies that you don't have it, because that is replicating. And so when we say we have to let it go, what that means is we have to stop saying that we don't have it. We have to stop acting like it's not here. That's what you're letting go of. So I like where you're going with this. So this idea of like, okay, I have to let it go is this big thing now, right? It turns into this, oh God, I don't want to let it go. But it's just like more so of just like, meh, not worried. Nope, not worried about it. Nope, it's all good. It's all taken care of. It's not about necessarily actually letting it go. It's just you have to stop saying these things. Like, it's not here. Where's it at? Like implying that it's not there. No, it's here. I'm not worried about it. It's on its way. Whatever. Bye. Over it. So that it can come through. Say it, Sammy. Thank you so much for the super chat. Says, even though I've been watching you for months, I got triggered emotionally by a guy I'm talking to, and it got really emotional. I emotionally threw up all over him. I don't know how long this is going to take to fix. I lost control. Okay, first things first. The wonder how long it's going to take, 0. It can take an instant, okay? People can get over things in an instant. They can have an aha moment at any time. They can have a realization. This person may not even be as like bothered by it as you are. So just assuming that they are already, you're already like bringing your power down a couple of pegs, and you don't need to do that. So I kind of talked about this earlier, but basically whatever you did, fine. Okay, fine. It happened. It's no big deal. It doesn't mean anything is over. It's not canceled. It's just, that happened. Fine. It doesn't need to define anything in your mind or stick out in your mind in any way. I mean, of course, obviously it does, right? It feels that way, but it doesn't need to be anything. So you don't need to you didn't go 20 miles down the road that you have to now come back from. Like you can just select a reality where everything is fine already. I'm not worried about it. I had to get my emotions out. You got triggered. So what? That's fine. You listen, use it as a gift. You uncovered a trigger. That's great. You uncovered a trigger. That's really awesome. So now that you know that trigger is there, you're on top of it and you're not going to allow yourself to be triggered by that anymore. And even if you do, that's fine, because we're always working on ourselves and we're always adjusting and, doing the damage control in our minds, which is what we're doing right now, which is what we're doing. So I emotionally threw up all over him. You know what? That's fine. Sometimes our emotions come out. Sometimes we have to say these things. Sometimes you have to get it out because you've been bottling it up for so long, and that's okay. Don't make it something bad. Don't make it a negative thing just because you did that. Okay, people do it all the time. And if somebody wants to be in a relationship with them and they think that they're never going to have emotions unloaded on them, go get a rope, go get a sex doll. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. So what? So what? It happens. Get over it. And I'm saying that, to everybody. So he's over it. You're over it. We're not really worried about it. You know what? I'm not worried about it. He's over it. He doesn't even care. He didn't even notice it. He didn't even think that much of it. He thought it was awesome that I was honest with him. He's glad I said that stuff. Whatever you need to tell yourself to make it feel better, then do that, because it's not about what you did. It's about what you do now going forward, because what you do now determines what reality you move into from here. So whatever happened in the past, again, is always irrelevant because you're always shifting into a new reality. So just focus on the new reality and just let this stuff be, it happened, whatever. It already happened. You don't need to dwell on it for another second longer. It has already transpired. Cool. Great. What is next? Focus where you're going and keep your thoughts aligned with everything works out. This person understands you. They're happy that you had this connection now. They know you better. They feel like they have a better understanding of where you're at or whatever. Tell yourself whatever you need to tell yourself, and then that's it, period. That's just the story. Switch it up. Don't let any of that stuff keep getting you. If you've been watching me for 4 months, then you know how to recover from this. So do that, okay? I know sometimes we get triggered and we react. That's fine, as long as you get back into the swing of things and go back into what you're doing with your intentions. And you know how to do that. And I'm proud of you, and thank you. Okay. Shirley says, sometimes I think it's hard to stay on top of my thoughts all day long. When does it get easier? Okay, so first things first, you can't entertain this idea that it's hard, because then it just keeps it hard. So anytime you say that it's hard, you know what? It's actually not hard, because it's not. It's not hard. It's not hard. It just takes focus. So saying that it's hard makes it hard and keeps it hard, which it's not. So don't say that anymore. First things first. And it's the easiest thing you've ever done. Say that now. Every time you want to say it's hard, you know what? What am I saying? This is the easiest thing I've ever done. It's easy to control my thoughts. I'm always on top of them. Every time, whatever it is that you want to affirm here, it's hard. Okay, say the opposite, and that's it now. That's just it. When does it get easier? It gets easier after you do it solid for a month, just like any other habit. You have to do it. It's a practice of learning to listen for the things that you say, to catch yourself when the reactions come, when the triggers come, like we were just talking, and the willingness, the dedication, the fortitude to flip that thought every single time you have a negative thought. Every time, every little one, even the next thought and the next thought and the second thought and the afterthought and the afterthought and the afterthought. All of them. 3 weeks to a month, hammer it in there, and it does become a practice. And then it's the most rewarding thing you could ever do. Ever. There's nothing more rewarding from this, because this is the stem of everything else you will ever experience. Your mindset determines how everything in your life plays out. Your physical health, your mental health, your personality, your fucking power as a person, your success, your career, money, family, relationships, love, friendships. Everything comes from up here. So if you are unwilling to do this work, you're not helping yourself. You're refusing to do the one thing that will make everything in your life work out. That's why I get so fired up sometimes with this stuff. I'm like, listen, I know it's hard at first, right? It's tough to control your thoughts, but so what? You know what else is hard? Learning to fucking skateboard. I just did it the other day. I literally got on a skateboard for the first time in my life, and it was hard and it was scary, but I did it. Is learning to skateboard any harder than controlling my thoughts? I don't know. It doesn't even like, how do you even add that? It just doesn't, I don't know. It like everything's hard. You start a new job. Sometimes it's hard. You got to train. You got to learn how to do the shit. You do 30 days of training and then you know how to do the job. And then you move on with your fucking life. And I'm not saying this, I'm not trying to attack you. I'm just saying like, I get fired up because it's like, just do the fucking work for 1 month and just be on top of it. And you will see the results in your life. And I love you. That's said with love. All the F's are said with love. Leanne says awareness is key. It is. You have to know that you're doing it. And then it's awareness and discipline. Now there's 2 keys. You have to know you're doing it and when you're doing it. And then you have to counteract it every single time. No exception. When you do this diligently, this is not something that you have to, like, anyone can do the skill. There's no prerequisite. You just need to have awareness and to listen to yourself. Okay? Listen to your thoughts. Pay attention to the words that you say before you fucking say them. Why is that something that's so hard to grasp? Like, not grasp, but why is that something that people are so, like, adamant about? Not, I don't want to control my thoughts. I just want to be on autopilot all day and manifest bad stuff and cry about it. Not saying you're doing that. This is just like how it sounds. It's like, be an adult and control what comes out of your mouth. Be an adult and control what comes through your mind. If you do that process, then everything in your life works out. Where's the fucking con? Where is the con? There is not one. There is no con to paying attention to what you're thinking and saying, not flying off the handle every time, not reacting in an immature or uncontrolled way, and then also having everything in your life work out. What is bad about that? You're already thinking. You're already thinking. So do it with intention. Love. All love. Thanks for letting me yell at you guys. Yeah, I'm going to do those. I got yelled at by Roxy Talks shirts. I'm getting that. I want to do it. I'm going to do it. Okay. Okay. Avinash, how do I know if my super chat has gone through? Let me see. I don't know if I see one from you. I don't see one from you. Yeah, I don't see one, babe. Borealis says, do you think we should feel the fear and let it go or just ignore it? Both. I think that all of that at the same time. Is that not all the same thing, right? Feel the fear. Sure. If you have it, fine. Okay, fine. I have a fear. That's perfectly valid. Don't allow yourself to have the feeling that this is for any feeling. Okay. So we're going to use the word fear, but we are going to just, Bella, I don't see your question, babe. I'm not seeing it. I'm not trying to ignore you. I thought oh wait, it says message retracted. Didn't I read? Yeah, I'm not seeing, I'm not trying to not read them. I would never okay, if you guys think I'm ignoring a super chat, I would never, I'm here answering questions for free. I would never ignore someone who paid to answer a question. If I don't see it, first things first, you see how many comments come through? I have a hard time seeing them all. And secondly, that's it. I would never ignore someone's super chat on purpose, ever, ever, ever. So please don't email me and say that I did that to you. Not saying that you would, but I have had someone do that. I just I don't know how to, sometimes I don't see them, but I spell it. I do see one from you, but it just says message retracted, so I can't see what it says. You always get ignored. Saying, babe, I didn't see. Okay, listen. It's not against you. I'm not ignoring. I don't ignore anybody. I just Can I still attract my SP if he told me that he's atheist and I don't believe in nothing? Maybe he's blocking my thought. I sent him. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. That's a great question. I honestly did not see that. Again, guys, I would never intentionally ignore someone's thing. If I'm ignoring it, say something, because I can't, these things come so fast. I can't see them all. I really try to. And I appreciate you and I thank you. And I'm sorry. I'm not trying to ignore you at all. So can I manifest an SP if he's an atheist and doesn't believe in anything? Absolutely. So first things first, yeah, he is you pushed out. Someone said that below. So you are manifesting him the way you define him or the way you expect him to, or in accordance to your own patterns, feelings, beliefs, all that stuff, right? So change the story. You definitely can manifest it. Like, he doesn't need to, he can be any religion or whatever of any persuasion that he wants or you want, and you still have access to that relationship. Okay. So that doesn't, like, whatever they're doing, they're just a manifestation of you. So you can intend that he has an understanding. I used to be an atheist before I discovered law of attraction, and it changed my life. So it's not like it's not like it's a death sentence, you know what I mean? Anything like that. So just imply that he's open-minded, or intend that he's open-minded. He gets you, he understands you, he loves your ideas or whatever. He's on board either way, like, and he supports you in what you believe in. So just make sure that you change the story about him, and you're not affirming that, like, whatever he says, so what? Doesn't matter. Does not matter, because you can shift into a reality where that's not how he feels in any single moment. And the way you do that is by focusing your thoughts there and keeping them on that reality. Nope, this is what it is. Nope, I'm not worried about that. He gets me. He understands me. He likes it. He's on board. He's feeling the same way. Whatever you want to tell yourself that matches up to that feeling, or whatever best case scenario is for you in the situation, then that's just what it is. And just let that be that. And don't let yourself question or worry anything just because he said that. So if you're worried that maybe he's blocking your thoughts, it's not him, it's you. You are the block, not him. He is, the object of your, what's the word I want to use? Like, projection. He's the body you have chosen to allow to fill that position for you in your life. But he's not what gives you the love or the validation you're looking for. That's inside already. So change the way you think about him, change the way you define him. Don't let him tell you how you feel about him in the situation, and be there in the mindset of what you actually want to experience, and then just don't waver from that. Let that be the story, period. Avinash, what's your question? Sunny says, is there another day to pay for the specific person workshop? The SP workshop you can do at any time. It's always up there, and you can join it at any moment. Cynthia says, how do you feel about dating while manifesting an SP? Also, when SP texts me, is it manipulating the situation to not respond? You don't have to. This is your story. So I don't have to respond to you. If you send me a text, cool. I know you like me. I can respond to it or not. And, turn up the power back to you. Like, I know it sounds kind of bitchy. I'm just trying to think of ways that you guys can be a little more, like, apathetic towards the stuff that you want, so it doesn't have such a hold on you. Is it mean manipulating the situation is to not respond? I don't really know. I'm not sure what you mean by that, but your body can do whatever it wants in the 3D. Actually, tomorrow's video is about that. You can do whatever you want in the 3D. Your body always does and can, but up here you are controlling the narrative. So if you don't want to respond, then don't. You don't have to, and still get your person. Or you can type out a response and not send it. it's really up to you. But anytime you worry about it or place a limitation on it, that's kind of the issue, is that in itself. So just let it, if you want to respond, cool. If you don't, cool. Who cares? This person's still all about you. Like you just treat it like that. And then how do you feel about dating while manifesting this? Be sure, do whatever you want. It's your life. Again, I can talk to, date, whatever I want to whoever, and I still can have this beautiful unfolding relationship as this is taking place, or whatever. Like, it is your world. If you just open up the way you define it and expand how you think about yourself and what you're capable of, then it's just that. There is no limitation except for what you put on yourself. Okay, Avinash says, I was manifesting an SP using your videos, but I ended up meeting someone else who is amazing and cares for me so much. What happened, and what do I need to do to keep things going so well now? Okay. What happened is you did well. You're doing the work right, but you still have issues or limiting beliefs or whatever in between you and the specific person. So whether that's resentment, past history, you're still defining them the old way, you need an apology, you think like guilt. There's like a whole bunch of reasons why the language isn't reaching them, or the manifestation isn't quite reaching them. But the point of it is that you are still not the story's not purified enough with the specific person to allow that to come through for them. But the story itself is working for other people. It's just that you have the own deal with the SP that's getting in the way. So what do you need to do to keep things going so well now? Keep doing what you're doing. Don't worry, don't stress, don't doubt, don't listen to insecurities, don't react to any 3D stuff that you don't like, and just keep the narrative going the way you're already doing it, and control how you respond, control how you react, keep the story going of your power and how much this person loves to be around you, how much of a great connection you have, or whatever. That's really what you're looking for in a relationship. It's not necessarily the body, the warm body next to you that you're looking for. You're looking for the connection that you have with that person. So just don't worry about it, don't stress, and just you have an abundance of love now. You have an abundance of SPs. Awesome. Or you don't want your old SP, fine, who cares? Doesn't really matter. You have a new one, you want them both, great. You can have anything you want. It's your reality. Nothing is limited to you unless you allow it to be. Thank you for the compliment, Marcy. I appreciate you. Sorry, I'm trying to find a question that's we haven't answered yet. Doris says, how do we use your technique if we have a fear of abandonment? Okay, we'll take what's the opposite of abandonment? Trust, stability, reliability, dependability, safety, security, loyalty, honesty, dedication, commitment. They're here for the long haul. They got your back, biggest cheerleader, always here for you, ride or die, like here for life. All of the words that describe the opposite of abandonment, you are going to saturate your story with that. And so anytime you start to fear the abandonment or hear those words coming up, you launch thoughts or declarations of the opposition, of the opposite of it. Safety, security. They're here for the long haul. No one's going anywhere. Everybody in my life stays. I'm always taken care of. I have people with me for life. I have such loyalty in my life. Everybody here I trust. They're, life partner, life partners or whatever, like you want to call it. Just turn your language every time it wants to go towards the thoughts of abandonment and make yourself think thoughts of the opposite. Literally get a thesaurus and look up the opposite of abandonment. all of those words you can use, turn into an affirmation, and then put that into your vocabulary, and replace every time the word abandonment comes up or anything that sounds like it, you shut it down in the moment and you replace it with something that describes the opposite. Security, longevity, freedom, ease, peace. Okay. Lily says, oh shoot, where did that go? Oh my God, I always lose. I mean, I always keep track of my comments. Okay. Sorry, I've got gloss on. Okay. Lily says, hi, lovely Roxy. Hello, Lily. I do the work, but my SP still doesn't show up the way I want him to. I do the job for a few days, and once he shows up again, the same old, I get so frustrated, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Well, you just said it. I mean, listen. You expect to undo years. Mangoes. You expect to undo years of your own programming with just a few days of work before you give up and decide it's not working and you're asking what you're doing wrong? You got to go for more than a couple of days. They show up the way that you don't want. You keep going. You push through. That does not mean, oh, it didn't work. No, that's what you're doing wrong. You go 3 days and then think about it like this. Think about it like this, okay? So every day of your regular day life, when you're, like you said, I do the work, okay? So that's you doing the work is you sitting in a classroom. When your SP shows up and acts the same way again, that's you getting a pop quiz. Now, whether or not you truly did your work like you say you did determines whether or not you pass that pop quiz. And what I can tell you right now is that you're not passing it, because every time you get it, we forget everything that we learned. You forget everything. Or whatever, I don't know your situation. I'm just using this analogy. And you bomb the test. And then you wonder why your GPA is suffering. I don't know. Are you really doing the work? Or are you putting yourself to the test when you are tested? When it comes time to see if that work has actually been done, are you proving to yourself that you can do it? Or are you failing and folding at the first sign of trouble? Because that's the issue. That's what you're doing wrong. So you go more than a few days. You never stop. You never stop affirming that they're the version that you want. Ever. You never come to a point where you can go back to, okay, yeah, they are a piece of shit, but I'm still going to have the relationship I want. Those two things don't work unless you want a relationship with a piece of shit. So you don't ever get to decide that they're not doing it. That's part of the deal. You change the story. You have to adhere to it, not them. They will eventually, but you have to set the example. Nobody else is going to do it until you start doing it. So, and I didn't mean to sound, probably sounded mean, but I didn't mean it like that. Just going to do that work. How do we work to get rid of limiting beliefs? I'm manifesting, but I feel like I'm either trying too hard or I'm not identifying my limiting beliefs. Okay, so first of all, just the fear and worry that you're not doing it and the stress about it is gonna keep it pushing it farther away from you. So I uncover limiting beliefs every single day. I'm getting better at this every day. This is so easy for me. All my limiting beliefs are becoming apparent to me. I'm uncovering them and catching them every single day. And then start doing that. Listen to yourself saying things that don't, like, really monitor your thoughts and ask yourself, do I have to think that? Is that a requirement? Is that really true? Is that what I want to think? Is that what I want to keep experiencing? Start doing some self-diagnosis. If you are not, if you're not listening to what you're doing throughout your day, then of course you're not going to catch all those things all over the place, because they're everywhere. And they're in all these little tiny little places. People don't realize that they're affirming shit they don't want all day long. So you have to be very aware. Awareness and discipline is how you get those things out. And then if you want to check out my specific person workshop, there's a whole module dedicated to that. That's like all about getting to the bottom of that stuff. Whoever was asking me about the scripting workshop, Sunny, can email my assistant. Roxy Talks Assistant at Gmail. Okay, doggies. All right, I'm going to answer just a few more. I just have... You should see my cat's face. She's trying to sleep. She's so annoyed with the dogs. She's like... Side eye. Okay. Borealis says, when did you realize that money was easy to get, and how quickly were you able to become financially abundant? Okay, so I started changing my story in... Okay, I'm going to be really, really honest with you guys. I try not to talk about money because, I don't know, I guess I have my own... I just feel like it's... I don't know if it's tacky. I don't know. I feel like I'm comfortable talking about like amounts and stuff like that. But I will say that while I was working on my money story, where, you know, I hadn't realized yet, like, let me back that up. I was reading Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. So that helped. That was one thing. That was actually probably the first thing I started doing, was I read that book. So that book was helping me kind of change my mind about that. I was also reading something about the subconscious mind by Joseph Murphy. That book as well. What the fuck is that book called? Something of the subconscious mind. I can't remember. Joseph Murphy, T. Harv Eker. Those two books really start helping me kind of, you know, understand that, like, no matter what's going on, my thoughts are manifesting. Like, what's in my mind is what's going to be out in my world. So I just started to thinking of money in a different way. And I started to, the first realization I had was, like, every time I thought I was going to be homeless, or like, oh my God, we're going to get, you know, I only have a week to find a place. And if I don't find a place, I'm not going to, like, all those things, like, oh my God, what if I end up homeless? Like, all those things, those worries that I always stressed about, they never happened. And the money always came through. And I started realizing, I talked about this before, like, money always comes through. It always comes through. It always comes when you need it, right when you need it to. So I started to realize, like, you know what? There was just no reason to ever worry about that money, because it always came through when I needed it. Even if it was to pay a bill on time, even if, you know, we thought, oh, the power got shut off, it only really got shut off for like 10 minutes. It never was like a dire thing in my life. So I started to realize that even though I was treating money like that and worrying about it, it still was coming. So I needed to stop doing that, because there's no reason to push it away, because it was already going to be there. And then I'll be real honest with you guys. My husband had a relative pass away, and he got an inheritance. And the thing about it, though, is that we didn't get it for months after, whatever. So, but when we knew that it was it wasn't a huge one. But when we knew that it was coming through, that idea of a nest egg, a virtual nest egg, was kind of born in my mind. And I started adding to my virtual nest egg. And I started, you know, every time I saw a feather, money, man. I always said manifesting a feather or manifesting $1 million is as easy as manifesting a feather. That's what I was telling myself at the time. So every time I saw a feather, fuck, $1 million. I'm like, oh my God, I just made $5 million just walking on this trip. I started just money, and just thinking about it and expanding it. I started responding to bills like, pay it, I don't care, I got the money, even though it didn't hit. We didn't have it for months. So it got to the point where, like, by the time it did come, we didn't need it anymore, because I was already, my money story had changed, and I wasn't making money for my thing. But just the idea that it was there, and we would have it eventually, helped me not stress about money, because it was like, no matter what, we'll be taken care of. We're going to be fine. The money always comes through. Money always comes. I got the virtual nest egg. The money's coming. It's not a big deal. We're not, it's not dire. It's okay. Things are working out. And so I just started acting like I could spend the money. Even if I couldn't, I didn't behave that way. I didn't, like, make my mind agree with that. Pay the whole fucking bill off, even if I had no money in my account. I would just act that way, because why not? The bill, I still have the bill in my hand. I still have to pay to keep my power on. I can say, oh God, how am I going to pay this? Or I can say, pay the whole building's power. I don't care. I'll pay all that. I'm not worried. They cost the same amount of energy. It's just as expensive or just as inexpensive to think either thought, but this thought moves me into a reality where money is not an issue and I can pay for the entire building's power bill if I wanted to. I totally could. So that's how we treat it. That's how you treat it. And you're not going to get me to say anything else about it. And so that was like September. The month of September of 2019, I spent changing my money story, hammering in my 360 process, figuring out what it is that I was doing and teaching. I started learning the quantum physics. I started scripting, and I had that realization of like, I was describing my business as a little engine that could. Even though I was changing my money story, I was still saying that getting clients was hard. Like, not that it was hard, but like, oh, we're working, we're getting there and struggling. Like, oh man, we're getting there. But like, I was treating it like a struggle, and it didn't have to be. It's just, that's what I was treating it. So that's what I got. And once I changed that from business is booming, I'm helping millions of people. That was like, it was 3 days after that. So like the month of September, I spent really changing my money story. And by October 4th, life changed. And it hasn't stopped since then. So I don't know if I answered your question, but that was my experience with my money story. And then, like I said, that the inheritance that we did get came through in like December. So it's like, it didn't even though it was there, right? We didn't actually have it or have access to it for like 3 or 4 months after. So it was just the idea of knowing that it was there. That's what helps change it. It's always that, like, and then I started to realize, like, again, all the money in the world is allocated where we say it is in each one of our realities. So now it's all coming this way. And that's all that I'm going to say is it's constantly flowing to me, thousands of dollars every single day. And it's amazing. I love it. Thank you. That's it. Nina, you manifested $1 million. She says, what the hell? I walked into my room yesterday and saw a feather on my bed. I was so confused because I haven't seen it in forever, nor asked to see a feather. Well, that was $1 million, bitch. You just got it. All right, I'm going to answer 2 more questions. Okay. Kamar says, how to deal with the fear of not liking what you're trying to attract? Well, that's an interesting question, because why are you trying to attract it if you don't like it? And then also, why are you intending that you don't like it? Start intending that you do like it and intending that you will like it. And you're so excited for it to get here and it's going to be a great experience. And even if it's not, who cares? We'll just go on to the next one. Life is a collection of experiences. It's learning. That's fine. Just kind of taking the power away from the fear, because it has none, and turning it into something that is more productive for you. I'm experiencing new things. New things are popping up. I'm controlling my emotions and controlling my thoughts. It's really great. I'm liking where I'm headed in life. That's it. And then, just turn that story around. Sassy planner nerd. Okay, it's funny that you say this, ironically, because it's in your name. She says, I'm sorry, I assume it's in she. I apologize. I love how you know exactly what you were doing each month. Well, sassy planner nerd, part of it is because I take meticulous notes and planning and keeping track and scripting. And it wasn't that long ago. It was basically, I'm recounting like my last year, and every month between about April and May, I think it was April. I'm going to say April was when I started to figure out my practice. First thing I did was start feeding myself the affirmations on a loop. And then I did that for like a month and a half and just kind of expanded and broadened that. And then I got to the June 1st, let me not be a bitch for 30 days thing. Actually, it was June 3rd and I had not been a bitch for 3 days. And I was like, let's see if we can go third. Can she go all the way? So I was like, okay, it's the 3rd day of the month. It's the 3rd day of me doing this. And it's also the 3rd day of a month. Really easy to keep track if I cannot be a bitch for 30 days. So that's what I did. I was like, I'm not gonna be a bitch for 30 days to control. And what I was doing, I didn't realize at the time, was learning how to control my thoughts and my reactions to my 3D world. I didn't know what I was doing at the time. So combining this constant feeding of myself of affirmations and controlling the way I reacted to my world and my thoughts was the skeleton of my 360 process. I did that for a few months. That was like, again, yeah. And I know this because it was less than a year ago. So the month of June, don't be a bitch. The month of July was like, gotta quit my fucking job. How do I do this? And I also was building the 30 days of alignment because I went through every single day and I recorded what happened and how I got through that day and made the shift. And that's what that is. It's like that 30 days was me, my actual process, me growing and learning and changing through it. So, and I was just documenting it as I went. So I spent the month of July compiling that information. I was just looking in my MailChimp last night. July 15th is when it all launched. So that's when the 30 days of alignment went out. I quit my job like the next week. I couldn't handle it anymore. I had to get out. I quit my job the next week. And then the month of August and September were spent. August was spent like, what do I do? Oh my God, like freaking out. But also like my in-laws were here. So we had like other stuff going. So I spent August and September building the business, building the Facebook group, getting, organizing all the stuff, rebuilding my website, getting all of these things like in alignment with the branding. Very thought out, very planned what I've done with all this stuff. And then the first week of October, it was like, put your channel out. It was like, do or die, put your new channel out right now. Like I knew I just had to, even though I always wanted to. I didn't do it for a year and a half. I had those old videos on an old channel for a year and a half. And then it was just like, do it now. And me and Jasmine had that collab coming out. And I was like, well, I can't, if I'm going to change this channel, I know I'm going to, I need to do it before we have this collab, because there's, as generous as she is to put me on her channel, I don't want to have to switch. Like they come over and then I have to switch them to the new channel. No, they need to come straight to the channel. It needs to be all done. So I didn't sleep for like a week. I was like, like that computer cat, just building and building and building. And that week where I was just building and hammering everything out, that's when I started scripting. And then I had the realization of the business is booming, blah, blah, blah. So once the channel launched on October 4th, my whole life changed, and it has not stopped changing. Because once it launched, the sales started coming in immediately. That's my story. Here we are. Okay, all right, I'm gonna do one more question. Oh yeah, we only have 8%, so that's all it's gonna let me do anyways. Incognito Vixen says branding is so on point, by the way. Thank you so much, guys. Yeah. Oh, thank you. I just want the Queen of Manifest Your Best Life. Thank you, Queen of Branding. Thank you. I definitely, Gazelle, yeah, ask your question. I definitely, and it goes back to like the first thing we talked about was being an artist. I'm an artist first and foremost. I always have been and I always will be. So like the branding is fun for me because it's like, yes, I'm coming here to talk about stuff, but my makeup and my hair and what I wear and my jewelry and my set, my branding, my sign, my website, the thumbnails, all of that stuff is just, it's all part of the deal. It's all part of the process. And it's definitely, am I mentoring? Yeah. I'm here. If you guys want business mentoring, I do that too, for sure. All right, Gazelle, that's our last question. Before I answer it, let me just remind everybody, I have the scripting workshop on Thursday. It's a live scripting workshop. This is the first one we're doing. I kind of oversold it. I apologize. That's why I priced it really low. Again, just to kind of see like what our response was, so we can kind of figure out how to tailor it going forward. That's why I definitely wanted to put it at an introductory rate, just because like, $20. Sometimes it's a lot for some people, I know, and I don't mean to dismiss it, but it's, if we want to just manifest $20 or something, that's easy, right? So $20 easy. Let's get on this workshop, see how this structure works, because I have a lot of ideas for this type of class, these live workshops. So I'm just trying to kind of put my feelers out and like dip my toes in the water. So I'm saying this because there's going to be a lot of people on this scripting workshop, more than I anticipated. So if you're interested, it's going to be great. I will have it for sale as like a bundle that you can actually, with all the scripting modules from the other courses, we're going to bundle them all together, and you can buy that for the same price, and just kind of have it referenced so you can like watch it anytime. And anybody that does sign up for it will get the free, well, not the free, we'll get the recorded version of the workshop. How do we join the scripting workshop? My website, roxytalks.com. You can sign up for it there. It's on Thursday at 4 p.m. PST this week in a couple days. And we're going to be doing live scripting. I'm going to help you guys revise what you're doing, because I see a lot of people doing a lot of the same kind of things. I don't want to say wrong, but just not opening yourself enough to make your scripting like just fucking take it up a notch. So that's what we're doing on the scripting. What are this week's videos? Oh God, I filmed them last week. I switched my scripting or my filming days up, so I can only remember tomorrow's video, which is it's the pink shirt, blue shirt update. I've been asked about this for a long time, and it's probably not what you guys were looking for, but it's something else, because I'm seeing a pattern develop with it. So it's talking about this idea of, and then also the, how do you act in the moment when you are manifesting them to be a different version, but they're showing up as something else. That's kind of what that video is about tomorrow. Can't remember the rest of it, I'm sorry. Yeah, scripting workshop is on my website, roxytalks.com. Heather says, I want to come do it live. I don't know if I can stay awake. Well, we're here, baby, if you can do it. Ellen Nunny says, let me just manifest that money for the workshop. Yes, I am. It's already, you already got it. It's in your account right now. Okay. Gazelle says, I'm working on, oh yeah. Okay, drawing skills. Oh, we did talk about this. Can you give an example of how you can quantum shift into the improved self with higher skills and more realistic drawings? How about you practice? You need to do, like, if I started visualizing myself shredding on the fucking guitar, all that shit, you know how I would step into that reality? By picking my fucking guitar up and playing it every single day. And maybe that's limiting beliefs, but art, again, if you're talking about a technique takes practice, fine-tuning your skills. So quantum shifting into a reality of improved self, okay, fine. You are quantum shifting into a reality where you are improved and have great skills at your drawings and realistic drawings or whatever. You know what that person does? They draw every day. They practice. That's why they're good. So you want to shift into that, you need to put your fucking pencil on a piece of paper and go to town. That's how you do that. And you mentally and physically. Beyonce, extremely talented musician, obviously. She has coaches. She rehearses. She works her ass off at perfecting her natural given talent. She probably has quantum shifted into the highest version of herself repeatedly for the last 15, 20 years. And she's still working, and she's still growing, and she's been growing and working ever since. So there is work to be done here, guys. Like, a really super skilled artist draws every day. That's how they do it. Okay. Why did you make a new channel if you already had one? Because I was putting out law of attraction videos on a music channel, and nobody was seeing them. So even though I was doing the SEO, they weren't getting put out to people. They were getting like 500 views on the entire lifetime of the video. So I had to, and as soon as I started the new channel and it was strictly marketed towards law of attraction, you guys see the value. I did that channel for a year and a half, and it got up to, I think it's at like 2,500 followers now. And this channel I've been doing since October 4th, I think, or 2nd, something like that's the channel. I think October 4th was the day the channel launched. Yeah, October 4th. And we're about to hit 40K in the next couple of days. So that's why I did it. That's why I made a new channel. All right, guys, I only have 3%. My battery's going to die. I love you. Thank you all so much. Happy Mindset Monday. Keep your eyes focused and your mind, your eyes can do whatever they want. Keep your mind focused where it needs to be, only in the reality you want to experience. If you find yourself anywhere else in your mind, shut it down immediately. Switch it and replace it for something that matches up to the desired reality you want to go to. If you want to join my scripting workshop, it's happening this Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific. You can sign up for that at roxytalks.com. And I also have a Manifest a Specific Person workshop that's still happening and changing lives. We also have the 30 days of alignment. We're building more, so you guys have lots of information to kind of soak up and taking ideas if you have suggestions. We love you all. I love you. Appreciate you. Thank you. See you guys tomorrow on the live chat. Bye. Bye.